is being bad almost the same as being good in 2024? I'll explain, but I just want to let people know we are going to give away some prizes this hour with Mahomes Showtime Trivia. We'll talk some wide receivers in the NFL, but this question is posed only because when you look back at the Olympic Games, now that things are over and Tom Cruise jumped off of a stadium in London, and we saw the Chili Peppers and Billie Eilish and Snoop Dogg, and we're ready to go. L.A. in 4 years from now.
No boxing, I'm hearing. No breakdancing in 2028.
Damn.
There is going to be squash, though, so don't worry.
Squash? All right.
I do have to ask, when you think about what was memorable, other than, like Katie Ledecky or Steph Curry.
That's because we reward stupid things. That's the problem with the country, though.
You know what?
No, because what you speak of is only in our stupid country, and I say that respectfully. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Let me make that clear. Because I'm proud to be an American.
Break out the Lee
Sit
Greenwood.
down.
I don't want people to be like, oh, yeah, well, why don't you go somewhere else if you don't like it? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we reward stupid things. Not everybody's like that. Not everybody should be like that.
But I do think people like...
Man, Covino's moonwalking
That's what I was going to say.
Get out of here. That's not moonwalking. That's just a fact. That's a fact. It is good to be bad, but that doesn't mean it's a positive. Like, do you want to be known as Hawk Tua Boy? I don't.
Now, you are correct. There is a reward system in the United States, and I don't think it's just here, but it's a lot here, where you're right. The ridiculous behavior or, the foolish stuff out there gets rewarded. Examples.
But there's truth to what I'm saying, right?
I mean, of course there's. Hawk Tua girl, that's, her 15 minutes are about up, but she made probably $1 million, I'd imagine.
But other countries reward positive things. That's what goes viral in other countries.
Well, look at it this way.
Our algorithms work in a way, for real, where dumb things get highlighted, and we're just circulating all this brainless stuff, and that becomes the biggest deal in our brains and in our minds, and that's what we gravitate toward thanks to social media. And I know where you're going with this because it's just the culture we live in. Not only in social media, it's just that we love the drama, and if it bleeds, it leads. And it goes back, years, not just recent stuff, but more so recent stuff. We've seen it all week with the Olympics.
Let me tie in a baseball story. You and I had discussed how Jim Joyce has come out saying he wishes that Major League Baseball would overturn the Galarraga.
He says he's all for it.
Perfect game.
And that came up because I believe it was an E60 piece where Monmouth University was studying like injustices in law. And the professor brought up the story of, look at this injustice. And they were like, well, if we could overturn certain stories of crime, why can't we overturn this story? This is an injustice. This is a crime. So they wrote a letter to the commissioner, and they're doing their best to try to have baseball just, review it and maybe possibly overturn it.
It was an interesting piece because you're right. If cases in court could be overturned, if the last play of a very clear, perfect game is right there.
Yeah, and it doesn't change the outcome of anything other than the record.
It was the last play. You could argue the at-bat of the next guy. What do you do with that? That's an exception. It counts, whatever. But that perfect game, or lack thereof, is more popular than any real perfect game.
And that was the silver lining to that story.
The silver lining is that Galarraga and Jim Joyce go down in history. If I said Covino,
more people remember that than had it been a perfect game.
Exactly.
But you don't think he would have still wanted that perfect game without the controversy?
But it's like Reggie Bush. When they took away his Heisman, it just reinforced in our brains watching him flip into the end zone for USC. Like, oh yeah, that's right, Reggie Bush, Heisman.
It becomes controversial. The great Dan Patrick, who we're in for, was featured in the Pete Rose documentary where he talks about, hadn't there been this controversy about Pete Rose, he'd be in the Hall of Fame and that'd be it.
Would he just be another Would he be another Hall of Famer like a Johnny Bench or a?
Yeah, because of this, he is a legend that we talk about every year come Hall of Fame time. And there's always this debate, and there's always this story of Pete Rose. So the legend may be greater as a result of this controversy. So that's what Rich is saying. Is bad sometimes good?
I think sometimes you are going to get more success, money, fame, and you may say, well, those aren't the important things, but when you look back at the Olympic Games,
it just shows you that everything's backwards, man.
Dude, I said it. Steph Curry draining threes, Team USA, Katie Ledecky, Simone Biles. Of course you're going to talk about the elites. But in some of the categories where, what the hell do you know about pole vaulting? I'll tell you what I know about pole vaulting. The funny dude whose junk got caught in the bar, who became a famous video clip, a meme, and everything. And that guy's probably cashing in. He should
and
be,
your wallpaper right now.
That guy should be doing commercials for like Blue Chews and Viagra and all these things. Cheese Girl, the good-looking Italian gymnast who was posing with wheels of Parmesan. The Turkish shooter who wasn't wearing any gear.
We love stupid things. Which, by the way,
the diver
we should be prospering right now.
The French diver who looked like he was a little too excited to be wearing a Speedo. These are the things
that are more memorable.
Jordan
Childs, did you mention that one?
Yeah,
the rap, not the rap, the breakdancing woman, Ray Gunn. I mean, you would have think she owned the Olympics.
Yeah. Please call her Rachel.
Rachel
the
Gunn.
floor roller.
Ray Gunn.
Gunn.
Honestly, the most memorable, and it's sad to say this. I don't say this with any sort of like enjoyment. It was the intro, the controversial introduction. What was going on there? Right? That became a big story. Then it was
Snoop Dogg holding a huge blunt. Oh wait, no, that's the torch.
That's just the torch, you know. The break dancer. Controversial women's boxer at one point. It was the big story. We love the drama. And, you know, shows like ours, we lean into that too. So we're not innocent here. I get that.
Well, because I am intrigued by those stories. And, you know, there are people, and I accept it, that will mock me for a variety of reasons. but one in particular is that
you're just very mockable.
And I accept it. I love it. Hey, mock me all day at Rich Davis. While I enjoy watching a game, a sports documentary, all the stuff you enjoy, you know what I enjoy just as much? A good episode of like Love is Blind or The Bachelorette or some drama, some nonsense, some, you know, too hot to handle, hot 20-somethings on a beach that can't keep their clothes on. We all love dumb trash mixed in with the quality.
I just think it's because we're overstimulated as a culture and social media has our attention spans really short where we want something crazy and salacious, and it's like you when I talk about fights and boxing. If it's not a heavyweight knockout or some bloody, bludgeony, you know, battle, you're not interested. I talked about the fight of the year this past weekend. Virgil Ortiz became the new champion at 154. I was like, it's the fight of the year, man. Yeah. It was a masterful battle.
That was your fourth fight of the year.
But it was. It was a great fight.
He's the boy that cries fight of the year.
And I'm talking the sweet science.
Another one.
I'm talking sweet science, and oh, man, what a battle. But because it's not heavyweights, it's not some bludgeony, bloody mess, you know, Rich and most people are disinterested, and they don't care.
Tell me when it's Canelo. Tell me when it's Terrence Crawford or Ryan Garcia or Tyson Fury Usyk or Jake Paul Mike Tyson. Don't tell me about, you know, two dudes I don't know.
Because you don't want who won the gold medal for breakdancing?
I don't know, but you know who was awesome? Ray Gunn.
No, but see, that's what I mean. We're losing the appreciation for what really matters, and instead we're like, yeah, Ray Gunn.
So answer yourself this question, and then we can move on because I do want to talk football. And there's a LeBron James thought I had. There's a story. It's like a day old, but I had time to think about it, and I have a pretty because I'm not a LeBron hater. In fact, I'm sort of team LeBron, but I hate on something he did, and I'll explain.
Okay.
But let me ask you this. I know you're a guy that's all about pride, and you're like, that's not a bad thing.
Pride isn't a bad thing.
I'm just saying.
When you say I'm all about pride, it's like saying,
Covino. Pride before the fall.
Covino, what a weird guy. He's all about values and standards. that's just what you're saying when you say that. I want to choke you.
Yeah, Covino's a guy that has standards.
But he says that about me like it's a bad thing. This guy, so prideful. Like, what's bad about that?
Because sometimes your ego is not your amigo, and pride could be your enemy.
I get that, dude, but it's also, you know, set of values you live by, certain standards, is having expectations. And I think that these are things we need to hold on to.
No,
but we
You don't become the little league batting champion without a little pride.
That's right. You need some
A
integrity.
little arrogance.
What happened to integrity? Covino, man, he has that integrity stuff. He's a little old school. What's wrong with that?
All right, so answer this question, and we'll act like your favorite slugger and move on.
Sure.
Would you rather be the gold medalist in pole vaulting, or be the guy whose junk got caught on the pole vaulting thing and everyone knows him?
And a future on the Bachelor. He's going to be on the Bachelor.
Yeah, right.
And a future, and has a ton
Honestly,
of DMs.
When you dedicate your life, as Jerry Seinfeld, you start training for the Olympics when you're a fetus. When you trained your whole life for that moment, I don't think your junk matters. I think you want that gold medal, and you want to be known for being a winner, and that's what you're recognized as, one of the greats.
Do you think Australian breakdancer Ray Gunn?
I get where you're going, dude. I'm not trying to take the righteous route here. I get it. Wow, it's sort of like he actually won when he didn't win. I get all that. In today's world, that matters more.
If you want a bronze medal in breakdancing,
yeah,
I don't think that has the value of being Ray Gunn, who will be spoofed on SNL, who will have memes and clips forever, and she goes down in the history books as
for embarrassing herself.
Yeah, what's she really going to get out of this, though, Rich?
Embarrassment. Honestly, and when's the? I think they say breakdancing again continues in Australia. So what? She's going to be the face of it again when it comes back. I don't know about that. So this goes with a theory we've been sharing for a long time. It seems like more than ever, with all the stories we mentioned and the Olympics and everything else, bad is the new good. It's better to be bad than good because that's where we lean and that's where our interests lie. And we've been saying it. We saw it. Nerd is the new cool. We live in the upside down.
Let me adjust. Bad, here's what I'll say. Bad is better than decent. Bad will never be better than great. Great.
I think coolness prevails. I think greatness prevails.
Greatness prevails. But if you said, hey, if you can't be great, do you rather be mediocre and forgettable, or do you rather have a moment where something weird or bad happens? If you told me Olympic gold or your junk gets caught on the pole vault, I'm going Olympic gold. But if you told me fourth place or you got a bronze medal or you're a pole vaulting junk guy, I think I'd rather be pole vaulting junk guy.